Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks.
Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Today's episode whisks us away to very familiar territory. We're going back to the Algonquin Provincial Park in Ontario, Canada, and specifically to Opeongo Lake. Algonquin Provincial Park is Canada's oldest park and was formed in 1893. The topography of the park consists of rolling forested lowlands under 1,500 feet in elevation. The land has been shaped by eons of glacial activity, grinding the mountains down into rounded hills with valleys filled with till, or soil derived from ground rock. The trees of the area range from dense stands of jack pine, white birch, and poplar scattered through pine forests. The waters here are extremely productive for fishermen. Common animals of the area include white-tailed deer, moose, and possibly woodland caribou, and a few elk. The predators of this area include lynx, wolves, and black bear. Toward the southern end of the lake is an island called Bates Island. I know what you're thinking. Bates Motel, Bates Island. It is an eerie coincidence, but there is no hotel on this island. In fact, there aren't supposed to be any bears on it either. Opeongo Lake is about 9 miles long, but is only just under 8 miles wide at its widest point. It narrows at the southern end of the lake to just under half a mile wide at Bates Island, but the landmass of the island cuts this width to only a few hundred yards in total. The island sort of forms a land bridge that any animal willing to take a short swim could use to get from one side of the large lake to another. The island is small, only measuring a little over a half-mile long and about a tenth of a mile wide, but is very long and thin in shape. On October 11, 1999, 32-year-old Raymond Jakubauskas and his 48-year-old companion, Carola Frehe, had just paddled out to the island and began to set up camp. The two had unpacked their tents and sleeping bags after finding a satisfactory place to camp with a beautiful view. The water shimmered as the late afternoon light bounced off the ripples, and the two adventurers were settling in for a relaxing night by themselves. They must have felt very safe on this island, knowing that any animal looking to make its way onto it would have to swim there, and would probably be heard by the couple as it approached. The island seems fortress-like in its isolation, complete with a moat of water for protection. Fall is an interesting season for bears. They're in a state called Hyperphagia, which is when they have a ravenous appetite in an attempt to pack on as much fat as they can before heading into hibernation for the winter. They're dependent upon berry yields and an overabundance of food to meet their needs during this time, and sometimes they do not quite get enough calories, and their appetites lead them to easy, alternative food sources. As the two set up camp, a rustling began in the bushes near their camp. As they looked over toward the noise, a very large and inquisitive black bear emerged from them. When a black bear is in predator mode, it doesn't typically run up to its prey. Rather, it puts its head down low and pins its ears back, looking for a hidden avenue of approach. It doesn't usually take a direct line toward its prey, but approaches in an oblique route, as if it were just passing by. It will frequently act oblivious to the presence of its prey in an attempt to convince the prey it's in no danger, but the body language of the bear is very clear to those who understand it. Given that both people were found dead, it is assumed that the bear began by approaching Carola first, and Raymond stepped in to defend her. The large black bear used its powerful paws to break each of their necks in a lightning-fast and merciful death. After both people were laying dead on the ground, it dragged their bodies into the dense vegetation on the island and did what bear experts call caching. When a bear caches a carcass it plans to consume, it covers the remains in leaves, sticks, and dirt, and then defecates or urinates on them. This acts as a mask to any odors that develop from decomposition of the carcass and lets other animals know that the carcass is already claimed as a meal by the bear. Both Raymond and Carola's bodies were cached in this manner. For the next 5 days, the bear fed from their bodies and stood guard over them, keeping any possible competition from feeding on them. After a few days had passed, and the two had not made it back to their prearranged check-in point, park police officers were sent out to the island to check on them. When they arrived, they were confronted by a large and now angry black bear who was refusing to leave and clearly claiming the cached bodies as its own. The park officials shot the bear and began their investigation of the gruesome and fatal incident. Raymond and Carola's remains were recovered and sent to officials for investigation and to complete the process of certifying the circumstances surrounding their deaths. The bear was found to be a young male which weighed in at 308 pounds. This may sound like a very large bear, but given the time of year, he was not. Black bears need to consume between 15,000 and 20,000 calories every day for months on end to reach ideal hibernation weight. And given that a large fish might have several hundred calories, you can easily see it isn't always as easy nor a successful venture for them. Not only that, they need a relatively high amount of sugar in their diet so that their calories are converted to fat, so a bad berry season may negatively affect their efforts in achieving the needed fat accumulation for hibernation. Regarding the attack, a park naturalist referred to this attack as a strictly predatory attack and described it as right off the scale of normal bear behavior. Given the bear wasn't described as emaciated, injured, nor older and declining in health, it is unusual, but it is all too common, as our channel demonstrates. The attack on Raymond and Carola inspired author Claire Cameron to write a fictional novel centered around a similar plot. It isn't a factual recounting of the attack, but is an interesting story told from a 5-year-old girl's perspective. It may be an interesting read for you. I've linked to it below, so if you like fictional writing, check it out. So after compiling the information surrounding this attack, I'm wondering, do you think this attack was a predatory attack or possibly a territorial attack? Do you think that bear spray or firearms would possibly have changed the outcome of the attack? Did Raymond and Carola violate any bear-aware precepts? I will enjoy reading your comments, so please post your thoughts in the comment section below, and let's talk about it.
Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.